So I just want to give some insight into my thinking process and my problem solving, uh, which basically allowed me to turn my health and my family's health from being not very good into being optimal. And it's a combination of scientific thinking and conspiratorial thinking. It's crucial to have both, and I'll explain why. But there's people out there that are just conspiracy theorists. A great example is Candace Owens. And that doesn't work. You cannot just be a conspiracy theorist without having scientific thinking, because you don't understand the principle that when you have a theory, you have to test it and see if it agrees with the world and agrees with reality. This is the scientific method. And that's why Candace Owens has just a bunch of false, wrong conspiracy theories. You can't just have a bunch of theories without testing them with the real world. And so it's important to not just be a conspiracy theorist. You have to combine that with a scientific method to falsify theories. And similarly, you cannot just be a scientist without being conspiratorial. There's many amazing scientists out there that do great work, but ultimately they will never fully understand what's going on in the world today, because the biggest issue in the world today is that there is a conspiracy against the West and against the world more broadly. And so, by not being conspiratorial, you're limiting the range of theories that you might consider. And so, then you won't arrive at the true theory of the world. And so, anyway, in my case, I combine both, and that's what's allowed me to sort of navigate and steer my family's health towards the optimal diet. And if I wasn't conspiratorial, I would have never discovered the true optimal diet, which is the carnivore diet. And that's basically 2 years ago, I was on the standard diet. And because I was conspiratorial in how I thought, well, let me consider the possibility that maybe there was a conspiracy against meat, a conspiracy against saturated fat and cholesterol. And that's what led me to the ketogenic diet. And similarly, I then later cut out veggies because I realized that there was a pro plant, pro plant toxin conspiracy, a conspiracy to try to get us to eat plant toxins. And that has led me down the path towards the optimal diet. And so you can see how it's crucial to combine science with conspiracies. Now, it's also important to recognize that there are conspiracies against both sides of the political spectrum. So, for example, there's chemicals like ivermectin and methylene blue that are meant to screw up people that are conspiracy theorists, right? And so you have to have a scientific thinking there to really judge things well. Okay, I just wanted to make that clear. That's my thought process. That's how I think.